Hey, what's up? Thanks for checking out Facts Not Included. Also, make sure you're checking out the website factsnotincluded.com, where we have all the latest news and information about the podcast. Make sure you're checking out our blog posts as well as the forum section. Start a conversation or join one that's already in progress. Hey, everybody, welcome to another Friday, a tangent Friday at that, of Facts Not Included, the podcast. I don't know, I get really excited for Tangent Fridays. It's just a day I get to ramble, like most days. And we can talk about whatever we want to talk about. I'm pretty excited this weekend. Tomorrow we head out to the Hudson Valley Comic Con. For those that don't know what that means or where that is, it's in Poughkeepsie, New York. It's a little Comic Con that they have over there. They've been doing it for the last 3 years. This is going to be year number 4 for them. And we're going to be checking that out. We're pretty excited. I found out about it, and I think I've touched upon the Comic Con on this podcast before in the past. I've mentioned that we were going to go there. But, tomorrow's the day. We're almost there. Um, it is something that I found by accident, more or less. I was looking at conventions to go to over the summer that are, I guess, relatively close to where we are, and I found the Hudson Valley Comic Con, and I looked into it. I saw that I noticed that there was certain people that piqued my interest that are going to be there, and it's in its 4th year, so they seem to be having things moving along pretty nicely. Uh, and I don't know. I've never really been to a convention, comic book convention that has been this small. I'm so used to obviously New York City Comic Con, and so at first I was a bit like, well, how is this going to be? But everything I've been seeing from videos from last year and the year before, it looks like a lot of fun. And again, come on, it's a comic convention. You're gonna have fun regardless. You're gonna have fun regardless of who's there, what's there. It's a comic convention. You're gonna have the time of your life with all the fans and all the comics that you'll be able to buy or read or the figures or whatever it may be. I know I'm bringing money down there for sure, to buy some stuff and add to my collection. There's sometimes I find a comic that um, I might have number issue 18 to 12, 12 to 18, but I'm looking for 1 to 11. And in comic conventions, I found my inner missing links for my some of my collections. So um, that's great. Like for Azrael, that's what I like to call him. Azrael, as some people call him. The Batman series that was out there back in the issues from the '90s, I believe. I've had a few of them that I've been able to find at Comic Con due to those individuals that sell their comics there. So thank you to those people, and those are the people that I'm going to be going to, and those are the people I'm going to be buying from. There's also going to be some awesome people there. Gilbert Gottfried's going to be there. The gentleman that has voiced Courage the Cowardly Dog, he's going to be there. I know that for a fact. And there's going to be plenty of other notable people, but those are the two for me that that made me want to get a ticket for this convention. And so, yeah, why not? Come on, it's Gilbert Gottfried. If you get a chance to meet the one and only Gilbert Gottfried, you go for it. And again, as I think I've mentioned in the past podcast, he has a great podcast. He talks to the people of old Hollywood and stuff like that, and that's pretty amazing. But yeah, so okay. So today's episode, what is it that I want to discuss? What is it that I want to talk about? There's a couple of things. A couple of things that I want to get off my chest here. Um, hey. And so, I think number one, the other day, a certain trailer dropped for us Marvel fans. A certain trailer dropped that has been getting a lot of positive. I want to say it's a lot of positive confusion. Confusion is what I think the phrasing needs to be. Positive confusion is what I've been getting, at least from people that aren't your average Marvel fan, or a bit, or haven't seen Endgame. So again, if you have not seen Avengers Endgame, stop this podcast right now. Go watch Endgame, and then go watch the trailer, and then listen to this podcast, because the whole trailer is a big spoiler. And so, spoiler warning right now. I'm going to be talking about spoilers here. Spider-Man Far From Home trailer starts off with, right off the bat, they do not, they do warn you. Tom Holland kind of like talks before the trailer. But in the trailer, right off the bat, they do not shy away from the fact that Tony Stark is now gone. Iron Man is dead. And there's a beautiful mural, painting, graffiti, whatever you want to call it, on a New York City side of a New York City building, and it just looks gorgeous, and it's in honor of the wonderful, the one and only Tony Stark, Iron Man, really. And Peter is he misses him, Happy misses him, and it's clear that he's gone, and we have to move on from this. And what better way to move on from this than learn from the man in a way that it seems that he's going to be using a lot of his tech that was left over. As you see in the trailer, he gets his glasses that Tony has in one of the films. I can't remember exactly the film. I think it was Infinity War and Endgame. I might be wrong, but yeah. For me, it's hard to talk about it only because Tony Stark and Iron Man has meant so much to me that to know that he's gone in our universe, in our MCU, to know that he's gone. And I know a lot of you are going to say, well, he's just a character. Chill out. Move on. I know, but for me, there's only a few characters in movie history that I would feel like this for, and he's certainly one of them. And you have to realize why. I mean, Iron Man has been in, 6 or 8 or whatever it is of these MCU films? He's been in quite a number of them. And he's left an impact on me as a viewer, as an audience member. And I know, I've had this discussion. If you go on factsnotincluded.com, on our forums, A.D. Greer and I and the others have been talking about DC versus Marvel and stuff, and I'm sorry, we've been talking about Endgame in our Endgame spoiler section, that he didn't like Tony Stark as a character, and I understand that. I don't understand that, but I understand his point of view. And that's something I want to make very clear on the forums. It's okay to have a view that people don't, the world necessarily doesn't agree with. The majority of the world doesn't agree with. It's fine to have that view. And discuss that on the forums. I want the forums to be we want the forums to be a place where you could talk about either opinion, the good and the bad, the up and the down, left and the right, whatever it may be in regards to the topic we're discussing. You could have the popular opinion, you could have the unpopular opinion. Let's just talk about it. Let's discuss. Let's get into it. And so anyway, AD was talking about how Tony Stark for him wasn't really much of a character. He seemed to be more of, I guess what he was saying was more one-dimensional than anything, and that his arc was always the same in every movie. I would have to disagree, and I put my opinion on there. I'm not going to go into it, but I would have to disagree. I think Tony Stark has been someone who has just like Cap, I think has grown, and they've gone in a trajectory that's more or less crossed paths. Tony has gone from selfish to selfless, and I'm not gonna say Cap has gone to selfish, but he seems to care about himself more now. And as you saw at the end of Endgame, and that's not a bad thing. Let's not go there in that route. That's not a bad thing, but Cap has countless times has tried to sacrifice himself and do it for the greater good. And I think at this movie he realized, yeah, I don't need to be doing that all the time. I really don't need to be doing this. And so he does what he needs to do for himself. That's what Cap does. Tony, on the other hand, was always about himself, always childlike, until the end of Iron Man 1, and then from there he's gradually moved on. And I think a pivotal moment for him was in Ultron, when he realized that, wow, I'm really fucking up this world. I'm really doing a bad thing to this planet. Let's start making some changes. And in Civil War, he realizes that changes need to be made regardless of the consequences, I guess. Who needs to be involved? It seems for him the government needed to be involved, and we went from there. In Infinity War, we see the same thing. At Homecoming, his attitude towards Peter was that of a father figure. And so I think AD's wrong, but that's fine, and that's okay, because those are the discussions that we have in the forums. And so, again, maybe I have to rewatch all the movies again. Maybe Greer does. I don't know. I don't know who's right, who's wrong. Maybe we're both right. Who knows? Maybe we're both right. I have no idea. But anyway, so in the trailer, okay, so then we get Mysterio comes out, Nick Fury introduces Peter to Mysterio, and I'm like, okay, he's now friendly with Mysterio, and apparently this Mysterio is from a different Earth, because one of the snaps, they have yet to confirm which snap. Might have been the original snap, might have been the snap that Thanos did to destroy the stones, might have been the Hulk snap, or might have been the Tony snap. We don't know. Anyway, one of the snaps caused a rip in the space-time continuum, as they say. It made a hole in the universe, the multiverse, whatever he said, and it created a multiverse, right? Or it showed us that there is a multiverse. And so, anyway, this Mysterio comes out into our world, into our Earth, or this Earth that the superheroes are on, the main one, I guess. And he I don't know, he wants to help or something, because if you know anything about Mysterio, he's an asshole. He's a con artist, He's a trickster. He's a magician. He lies all the time. So does this mean this time, is he using the what are they called? I forget the creatures that are in the movie. The elementals. Is he using them to kind of like tell his own story by being the good guy, and it turns out he's the bad guy? Like, I don't understand. Also, is he even lying about the multiverse? I don't think he's lying about the multiverse, because if you've heard a few interviews with the Russo brothers, Anthony Russo more or less confirmed multiverse stuff. He talks about it without even mentioning Spider-Man. Without even bringing up Spider-Man, he mentions multiverse stuff. So I think the multiverse thing is correct or true. The question or not is that Mysterio from the multiverse? He might be aware that there is a multiverse and just been like, yeah, I'm going to tell these people I'm from there. And if so, if he is from there, is he playing the good guy or the bad guy? We all know that, at least we think we know, that he is going to be the bad guy in this movie. So maybe he's playing Peter as a joke. I don't know. Anyway, that's the other major thing that happened in this trailer. Another, I guess, major thing is Nick Fury calls Spider-Man a bitch, which I think was a funny line. I think it's the funniest line, I guess, for a lot of people in this trailer. Peter goes that he's just a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, and then Nick Fury goes, bitch, please, you've been to space. Because he's more or less asking him, are you ready to take this mantle? Do you want to be the world needs a new Iron Man. Are you going to be that new Iron Man? And it's a thread throughout the trailer, because it's something that the even the police officers in New York City ask him, "Are you going to be the new Iron Man?" And Peter, I think the best line is that Peter says, "No, I'm too busy doing your jobs." So something like that. So I think that's pretty awesome. A pretty awesome line. So it's a thread throughout this trailer, and it's something that they're I don't know what they're doing, because it's either they're setting the stage for us to realize that, hey, Peter needs to wake up, step up, and become this new leader of the Avengers, maybe, right? Or they're letting us know that, hey, it is a possibility that Peter can become the leader of the Avengers. But our real plan in the MCU is not for him. It's for maybe Doctor Strange, Captain Marvel. I doubt Thor. Thor, I think, is done. But anyway, we're pulling your leg there too. I don't know what they're gonna do. I believe in them. I'll let them. I'll ride the course with them. So yeah, that's what happens in the trailer. It's really interesting. Where do we go from here? Only time will tell once we see Spider-Man Far From Home. And then I think after that, just a couple of weeks later, you have San Diego Comic Con, and of course Marvel is going to be there, I think. And if not at D23 in August, Disney for sure is going to have Marvel talk about some Phase 4 interesting news, which means all the movies coming out. Which, of course, like we said, it's Black Panther 2, Doctor Strange 2, Black Widow, The Eternals, and Shang-Chi. But the question is, where are they? When are they coming out? I think Doctor Strange is the first movie out. I think. I don't know. It's either Doctor Strange or Black Widow. And now that I'm thinking about it, I think it's Black Widow. But watch it be like Shang-Chi. Because the only reason Black Widow is probably now at the top of my list because they're shooting, right? But I did hear that they were shooting Doctor Strange as well. So who knows? So anyway, the reason I talk about the release date is because that's the next story that I want to talk about. Something I want to talk about right now. It's the release dates of the Fox Disney Company, Disney Studios Motion Pictures, and 20th Century Fox release date. Disney released this the other day, and we'll talk about that right now. Okay, so here is the list. I have it in front of me. If you want to check out the list, just go to our Facts Not Included Facebook page. It's on there. And we also might put it on our website. But anyway, Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures release schedule. The 2019 films. So the way they broke it down is Fox Searchlight, and Disney. So those three brands. Again, 2019. We already basically know the movies that are coming out in 2019. But let's check this out. And a couple of movies have moved around. You might notice that. So Tolkien, of course, you got Aladdin, you got Dark Phoenix, of course, Toy Story 4. We're all excited for those films, I think. Except, well, Tolkien, I mean, I don't know if I'm excited for it. I'm definitely going to try to check it out, but I don't know if I'm excited for it. Stuber, that's the movie, if I'm not mistaken, that's the Dave Bautista, Kumail Nanjiani film. Yet again, Kumail playing an Uber driver. His last movie, The Big Short, not The Big Short, Love Sick. What is it called? Kumail Nanjiani. The Big Short's another movie. The Big Sick. There we go. So stupid. The Big Sick. That was a great. I think that was a great romantic comedy. I think, and I hate romantic comedies. Let's get that straight. Anyway, so he's with Dave Bautista and him are Uber. He's an Uber driver. Dave Bautista's some cop or something. I don't know. Anyway, The Lion King, of course, in July. Art of Racing in the Rain. What is that? Anyway, Ready or Not, Fox Searchlight. Don't know what that is. Ad Astra. Do I not know what any of these things are? Like, what is Ad Astra? Am I dumb? Is that a person? No, Ad Astra. Okay. A man journeys across a lawless solar system to find his missing father, a renegade scientist who poses a threat to humanity. Brad Pitt. What? Okay. Nice budget at only $50 million. Wow. Okay, now I'm excited. That's in September. Now I'm excited for that. I've heard nothing about it, so it's probably not going to be any good because they don't seem to be caring about it. Woman in the Window. Fox. That sounds like a book I've read. A Woman in the Window, brought to you by Stephen King. Woman in the Window. It is a book. It is. See, it is a book. Originally published in January of 2018. Huh? And you're making a movie about it already? Or is that not the same thing? It is the same thing. So it is the same movie. Book adaptation. Amy Adams, Julianne Moore, Anthony Mackie, Wyatt Russell, and Gary Oldman. I'm just getting excited for these things. Okay, Maleficent. Oh God. I knew there was a second one coming, and I knew they said it was coming out this year, but just seeing it on paper just makes me disgusted. I didn't like the first one, let's be honest. Maleficent is probably the weakest of the live-action films by Disney. I think the last time I spoke about the hierarchy, I guess, of the live-action Disney films, I think I even left it out because I forgot it was a thing. That's how bad I thought it was. Anyway, Ford versus Ferrari, that movie is something I've been waiting for. From what I've heard from people that saw the trailer or snippets of whatever it may have been at CinemaCon, they look it looks very promising. Frozen 2, Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, and Spies in Disguise. That's coming out on Christmas Day, on a Wednesday. What is that? Spies in Disguise. Oh, it's that trailer of that movie that was supposed to come out in September, but now it's coming out on Christmas. Wow. This is the Will Smith, Tom Holland film. Yeah. It's an animated movie. We've seen trailers for this before. The first trailer came out in November. Wow, that's disappointing. That's a disappointing. It doesn't feel like they're confident in this movie, that the fact that they're going to release it on a Wednesday for Christmas, they just want to make all the holiday money. They know people are going to be going to see the movies during Christmas break and whatnot, and so that leaves me in a bit of a sour feeling to know that that's going to be what's happening. Underwater. This is 2020 films now. Underwater is a live action adventure thriller. Kristen Stewart. I'm so confused by all these movies. So 2020, February 2nd, we got a Kingsman movie. I didn't know we were getting a third one. Untitled. It says Untitled Kingsman movie. I didn't know we were getting a new one. Call of the Wild in 2020. Disney's Onward, and then Disney's Mulan. I don't know what Onward's going to be. No idea. But the fact that you're releasing a Disney movie on 3/6/2020, and you're also then releasing Mulan 2 weeks later on 3/27, or was that 3 weeks later, gives me a little bit of an itchy feeling, an uneasy feeling about this Onward movie, only because you're dropping it right before Mulan. New Mutants has been pushed all the way to April of 2020. Ouch. Artemis Fowl, same thing. Pushed all the way to May of 2020. Untitled Pixar animation film coming out in June of 2020. Wonder what that's going to be. I haven't really been following the Pixar news, so I don't know what Pixar film is in the process or in the works. What they could have been teasing at. Free Guy, don't know what that is. That's coming out on July 3rd, 2020. Bob's Burgers, the movie is actually going to be coming out. Disney has not canceled the film. This is something that they've been in the works for a while now. Jungle Cruise with The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. That's coming out in July. One and Only Ivan, or Ivan, I don't know what that is. It's probably another book adaptation. Death on the Nile. Now this is, if I'm not mistaken, this is the sequel to Orient Express. Right? Yes. I was right. It is the sequel to the Murder on the Orient Express, and I think the cast has... Yeah, Letitia Wright. My girl from Black Panther. She's going to be the probably the murderer on the Nile. I don't know. I'm just assuming because everyone else is white. I don't know. Anyway, so that movie currently has Gal Gadot, Kenneth Branagh, Armie Hammer, and Letitia Knight. So that's going to be cool. Oh, right. Sorry. Okay, so untitled Marvel movie in... I actually skipped over the... In May 1st is the first Marvel movie post-Avengers, post-Spider-Man. So, again, what does that mean? Maybe Black Widow, maybe Doctor Strange, too. So now in November, you have an untitled Marvel movie. That might be Doctor Strange. Because the first Doctor Strange came out, I think that same day, definitely that same month. So, Ron's Gone Wrong, that's coming out in November, don't know what that is. Untitled Disney animation film coming out Wednesday, November 25th, 2020. What is that? Like, what? West Side Story, the long-awaited Steven Spielberg's West Side Story. I don't know if he's directing. I know he's producing. I don't know if I think he's directing. West Side Story coming out December of 2020. And Cruella de Vil. That movie is coming out December of 2020 as well. I heard Emma Stone's playing Cruella. I don't know how I feel about that. It's weird, right? And so now we go into unmarked territory, unnamed territory, and I'm just going to name it off here. So for 2021, these are the films for 2021. Untitled Marvel film coming out in February of 21. Nimona. I don't know what that is. It's a Fox movie coming out in March. Then you just have untitled Disney live action, untitled Marvel, untitled Disney live action, untitled Pixar, the Indiana Jones film, Disney live action, Marvel, Disney animation, and then Avatar 2 to round out the year. Now, the untitled Marvel, there's going to be 3 Marvel films in 2021. What are they going to be? I think one of them is going to be The Eternals. I think the other one's going to be Black Panther 2. And I think the other one might be Shang-Chi. Those are the only ones they've been talking about, right? But knowing Marvel, they like to hide things from us. They've probably been producing a movie for a while. They've probably been working on a movie. 2021 is a long ways away. Or it isn't. You have the rest of 19, you have a whole year of 20, and then you have 21 to have it released. And as we know, think about it, Endgame, the last thing they shot for Endgame was in January. But most of Endgame was shot 2 years ago, or longer. So, think about it. We didn't even know they were shooting Endgame in some moments. So these are things we have to think about. And it's very likely that they are shooting a film now. So, who knows? Anyway, 2022, we have a Marvel movie, Pixar movie, another Marvel movie, Disney live action, another Pixar. So we're talking 2 Pixar movies in a year. They haven't done that in a while. 2022 is when they're going to do it. Disney live action Marvel, 2 more Disney live actions, and then a Disney animation, and then a Star Wars film. The first Star Wars film since Rise of Skywalker, and it's the beginning of this new trilogy that they're going to work on. Might be the Rian Johnson trilogy. It might be the Benioff and Weiss trilogy. I'm going to lean towards more Rian Johnson, because Rian Johnson has been free to do things since Last Jedi. Benioff and Weiss have been working on Game of Thrones. So I doubt they've really been sitting down and doing Star Wars stuff. But that's 2022. But that's why I still think, because, with a Star Wars film, you need 3 years pre-production. 2-3 years pre-production. That's how they did it in The Force Awakens. I mean, you need that. 2023, there's only 2 movies slated currently right now for 2023. You got a Disney live action and an Avatar 3. 2024, you only have Star Wars as of now. 25, you have Avatar 4. And then 26, again, Star Wars. And then again, lastly, to round out 2027, Avatar 5. Not surprising that there's not other movies on the slate for those years. I mean, why would there be? These are just movies that they know for a fact they want to come out then. Avatar has been moved around a lot, been delayed. It's supposed to come out next year, but now it's coming out in 2021. What does that mean? I don't think it means really anything negative. I just think Disney wants to figure out. We own December. We've been owning December for a long time, since The Force Awakens. Let's continue to own it. So let's let's delay, because we have movies coming out in 2020. We have Cruella. We want her to succeed. Now we also want our Fox movies to succeed. So let's leave West Side Story there. Next year, then let's put Avatar, because Avatar would have eaten up Cruella. Avatar would have eaten up West Side Story, without a doubt. So, I mean, I think that's their plan. I think that's what they're going for. I like the plan. I dig it. I'm just concerned about Indiana Jones 2. It's another movie that should have been out by now. I think the original release date was 2019. Now it's 2021. So, that's what we're looking at. Anyway, that's today's episode. I just wanted to go over those things. Not a crazy episode today. I just wanted to hit those marks. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And, again, we're going to be at the Hudson Valley Comic Con. Detective Pikachu came out. I have seen it. We will talk about that in a review. I'm not going to say whether I liked it or didn't like it. I want you to listen to the review. And yeah, so that Tolkien's coming out. I might check that out as well. Maybe might check it out while I'm in Poughkeepsie. Don't know. But yeah, happy Mother's Day for those mothers out there. It's 2 days from now, so enjoy yourselves. And yeah, peace out. Enjoy your day.